Being a programmer means you can code your way out of problems, even productivity ones.
How cool is that?
When I was teaching at DCI, I struggled a bit with tracking break times and timing exercises. So I decided to build a cool desktop app using Kivy that does two key things. It helps me to take breaks and it helps me to track time during exercises. Alright, let's see how this works. So I'm gonna use my Makefile and run a shortcut that is gonna start my application, like you can see here. And once my application starts, we have this page that is being displayed by default, and this page or this screen help us to add alarm or add events. So we can see here adding event, we are allowed to state the time. So let me say 3:59 for example, and I'm gonna select Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And yeah, I'm gonna select between the alarm type, I'm gonna leave it at sound. And yeah, I'm just gonna say testing for YouTube video, something cool like that. And once I add it, we're gonna say notification that's gonna disappear at a given time. And from there we can move to the next screen where we have the list of all events, and we can see these other events have been triggered already. And when we go down, we can see this is the event that was added. Okay, so we can see here 3:59, and it is still pending because the time of this recording is 3:54. So it's gonna alarm in a few minutes. So from here we can go to the SW, that stands for stopwatch, where we can see the time and the dates, and we have this three button that helps also control the timer. So let's say I give an exercise to a student. So here we can let's say we keep 50 minutes for the exercise, and while this is incrementing we can pause and we can resume anytime. We can also reset, and another thing is that we can modify the time while the timer is going on. So we can see it stopped because apparently it's not time right now. So if I just put 30, it's gonna continue and we can reset it. So that's it about this very simple program. And at the top here we have what's supposed to be the home page. The home page here was supposed to give us the upcoming event. So it gave us the label and the time at which the next event is going to happen, and the time left for it to happen. So this information is not really accurate. So I'm going to work more on this for the next version. It was my first time using Kivy, so I used this app as a learning playground. The result,
a chaotic mix of unnecessary files and spaghetti codes.
Nearly 2 years have passed, and in that time I've significantly grown as a developer. Now it's time to wipe the slate clean and rebuild the app properly with smarter feature and better structure. In this initial phase, we're going to analyze the requirement to understand the changes and to guide the direction of the rebuild. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share in order to support the content. Code brief. Alright, so for this new version, here are some major non-functional changes from the old version. So we're going to try to make it portable because the old version uses PostgreSQL. So here we're going to use SQLite so that it is portable, and we're going to make it a little bit more flexible using KiwiMD. So the first version uses just Kivy. Here we're going to introduce KiwiMD, and we're going to try to package it so that it is available in these various systems, Windows, Mac, and Linux. And we're going to use try as much as possible to test our code and using the CI/CD pipeline. And if possible, we're going to deploy it on PyPI. So we're going to see if this is going to be possible. And in this case, we're going to divide our various functionality into screens. Here we're going to have the home screen. So the home screen is going to be this part of the program where we're going to have all these various things, but more precise information. So After that, we're going to have the list reminder. So this is the list reminder that lists all the events that we happen to create. And here we're going to put a, some functionality here. So I'm going to come back to this. And here we're just presenting the screen, of course. And we're going to have the time tracker. The time tracker is going to be this. So altogether, we're going to have 4 screens. And for the text stack, we're going to be using Python, of course, from the old version as well. Kivy MD new, SQLite new, PyTest new, because the old version does not have tests, and the schedule module is used in the old version to create the alarms and so on. We have SQL Alchemy, which wasn't used in the first version. Now we have the GitHub action for the CI/CD pipeline. So details about the various screens. So for the home screen, which we have here, so we're gonna try to list the upcoming reminder event. So something similar to this, where we're gonna have the label, the time and dates. So here we're gonna include the date as well, and we're gonna have the remaining time before that event. So it's gonna be in real time, it's gonna decrement, okay, moving closer to 0, so that it gives us in real time how much time is left. And we're gonna just down here, we're gonna have a graphical representation, so we can see a graph that I did here. So we have a graphical representation of here, this portion that is in red indicate the time or the event that has already been triggered, and these are events that are these are upcoming events. So this is gonna display just for today, all the today's event. So at the end of the day, we're gonna have a home page that have the upcoming, just like we have here, and the graph down here. Now moving to the list reminder screen. So here we're gonna have make it scrollable. Of course, from the old version it is already scrollable, and we're gonna have an add plus button somewhere here that can be used to add events. So remember, from the old version, we have it separately on this tab. So here we can use this tab to move to this screen in order to add event. But in the new version, we're gonna have an add button somewhere here that's gonna take us to that screen. So I'm gonna remove this on the new version. On the same page, we're going to have some search and filters so that we can search by the label name, and we can filter by the status if it is, pending or passed or all. So all is going to be the default. And we're going to also filter by date, okay, by date and time as well. And we're also gonna filter by active. So this kind of like tell us if the alarm is active or is not active. So right now this doesn't work. Here we just have an image that is displayed here, but I'm gonna change this to a button that we can use to toggle between active and inactive, or disable and active, disable and enable. So still on the same page, one of these items is gonna now represent, it's gonna look like this. So here we're gonna have the dates, the time. Above here we have the label. Here we have a button that indicates if the event is active or disabled, and we're gonna have the status here to indicate if it is pending or passed. Then we're gonna have 2 buttons at the side. The first button is gonna be used to delete this particular event, and the next button is going to be used to edit this particular event. Once we click on the delete, it's going to pop up a confirmation where we can confirm if we want to really delete this event. And when we click on this pen like button here, it's going to open this page, this screen, and it's going to autofill all the various fields with the event we want to modify. So for the at reminder, which is still this page, so we're gonna still maintain the same hours, minute, and second. And from there, for the days, here we're gonna change it to days. Okay, and when you click on this pop-up, we're gonna indicate if you want to repeat throughout these days, because right now if you select Monday, okay, the event is going to run for all Mondays. So I want to make sure that only when you click on a radio button that we're going to have here, or a select button we're going to have here, it's going to decide if the event is going to repeat throughout the selected days. If it is not ticked, then it's going to run only for Monday, and it's going to be deleted automatically. So, and here we're going to have for the alarm type, the pop-up is not yet implemented. It wasn't implemented in the old version, so we're going to implement it here. We're probably going to have some pop-up that's going to appear at the top right corner of your screen, or we're going to have the sound, and the sound in this case is going to give us the possibility to select a sound from our computer, or it's going to use a default sound that comes with the application. And here we're going to maintain the level as well, and we have our two buttons here to cancel or to reset everything and to add it. Then here we have our space for our notification that's going to appear and disappear at a given time. So basically this is a draft of our new interface. And moving down to the time tracker, we're going to maintain the dates. We're going to maintain we're going to maintain the time, we're going to maintain the dates, but we're going to add the time zone here to make sure that the time zone can be changed if possible. But I don't think I'm going to implement that feature for now, but I'm going to indicate the time zone based on your system just above here. And here we're going to have, based on the screen, we can see we're going to have like something like a switch button here, where we can switch between the stopwatch and the Pomodoro technique. Okay, but for the Pomodoro technique, we are not going to use it for now. The Pomodoro system, maybe, if I may call it like that. So it's going to help us to use the Pomodoro technique. But for this new version, okay, we're going to try to implement the stopwatch as it is implemented here, but with some few changes. One of the changes will be when the alarm have started, you won't have the possibility to update it anymore. So you will just have the possibility to pause, to resume, and to reset. And also the structure is going to look like this, so that we encircle the time in this round-like structure. So moving to this particular pop-up, so this is the pop-up is going to change to this. So we can see originally our timer increments, okay, our timer increments, but we want to give the possibility to either count down or count up, to increment or to decrement. So we're going to have some pop-up here to indicate if the user wants to count up or count down. Then we're going to maintain this time in minutes, and we're going to have two buttons here instead of one, where we can click OK to trigger the time, or we can cancel or reset whatever we have done here. Okay, and these are details for the Pomodoro technique, but I'm not going to go through this for now, okay, because I'm not planning to implement it now. So that's it about the requirement. Like I said, 2 years have passed, and I believe that I've grown as a developer. And with your help, with your recommendation, we'll be able to take this application to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe, to share, to comment, and to give your opinion. Every opinion is welcome. So in our next video, we're going to look at the database. We're going to design a database to make sure that it meets up to the requirement, and also it will be easy for us to implement. So see you in the next video. Thank you for tuning in.